All right, welcome back to WMAC now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a UFC fight announcement. So UFC has a fight night going down July 12th in Nashville, Tennessee. Looks to be headlined by, let me see here. Looks like it's going to be Derek Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira. Anyway, they've announced a women's strawweight bout between Fatima, the Archangel Kline, and Melissa Supermelly Martinez, in what should be a very fun fight between prospects, at least while it lasts. Bit early for these prospects, I think, to be facing each other. They're around the same age. They're still relatively young in their MMA and certainly their UFC careers. But this is how you separate the wheat from the chaff. A lot of people hate seeing prospects fight each other so early in their careers. I say, man, this is mixed martial arts, not boxing. So let's get them in there. Let's have them face each other, and let's separate who's who early. And honestly, if they're truly prospects, then they'll recover and find their way back, the losers. Anyway, let's take a look at the stats on this one. So the Archangel Kline comes in at 7-1. Supermelly Martinez coming in at 8-1. Now, both of these ladies have identical UFC records. They lost their first bout and then came back and won their second. Now, Kline made her debut up at flyweight against Jasmine Jazz the Vicious 8 months ago, and then picked up a win back down at strawweight about 3 months ago. Martinez lost her debut to to Elise Reed 2.5 years ago, and then took a long break, I think due to some kind of pretty serious injury, and then came back, defeated Alice Ardelane via decision about 5.5 months ago. Kline is the younger fighter at 25 to 27 for Martinez. She is the taller fighter, 5'6", 168 centimeters to 5'2", 157 centimeters for Martinez. Reach has been closed up a little bit, 66 inches, 168 centimeters to Martinez, but Kline edges it out at 67 inches, 170 centimeters. So Kline's pretty dang tall for a strawweight. She's not small for the division, let's say that. Looking at the Tapology community picks, 182, 91% for Kline by decision. Honestly, if I'm going to make an early pick here, I'm picking Kline by finish on the ground. Martinez has some really nice flashy strikes. I would say she's the more dynamic striker, whereas Kline tends to keep things to the basics, but like good basics, like solid fundamentals. She can work off the jab. She throws combinations together, has some good footwork. Honestly, from when she started just a few years ago, when did she make her pro debut? Back in, hold on, got to close all these grappling and canceled bouts. So she made her pro debut back in May of 2021. So coming up on 4 years as a pro. Mostly started out as a grappler, and then her striking has come a long way. Whereas Martinez, there's no shame in losing your debut to Elise Reed, but it doesn't lend a lot of confidence in your future either. Which is kind of mean towards Elise Reed, but yeah, it's true. Like, if you're losing your debut to that type of fighter, it just shows that you have that much more growth to do. Whereas Kline, losing to Jazz the Vicious up a division, that's no shame there. And then came right back and just demolished Victoria Dudakova. Whereas Martinez, in her second fight, took Alice Ardelane to decision. Yeah, I don't blame the 91% of the community picks on Tapology that are going with Fatima Kline. That's one I'd take too. Martinez is always going to be a fun watch, but Kline, I think, is the legit future of the strawweight division. We'll have to see, though, because, I mean, she's never, how do I put this? She's never faced an actual step up in competition as a strawweight yet, I would say. And Martinez isn't that step up yet. But so we'll have to see. But I've liked what I've seen from Kline so far. And I'm early pick. I'm taking Fatima Kline to beat Super Millie too. So those are my initial thoughts. This isn't exactly like new news. This got announced last week, but this is out of the fights that have been announced lately. This is one I really wanted to talk about. It goes down July 12th in Nashville, Tennessee. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Wmma Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.